there becomes a time where you just honestly have to like be real with yourself and have open conversations with yourself, right? And so I believe that I'm going to use this podcast at moments to be almost like an audio diary of mine, you know what I mean? Like, and to really kind of just bleed out some of these thoughts that are in my mind, because I just have a lot of thoughts about a lot of different things, right? Just be along for the journey, okay, child? Because this is going to be much different from my YouTube content. So the things that I talk about here, I probably won't necessarily talk about on YouTube. But with that being said, I wanted to get into some things today, because I really wanted to talk about on this episode burnout. And burnout can happen in so many ways. Like, I've been burnt out from a creative place. I've been burnt out in friendships now, and I've also been burnt out, in relationships, and I also believe that every season there, or every situation, there will be some sort of burnout. So if you're in a relationship long enough, there'll be a burnout. If you're if you're at a job long enough, there'll be some burnout. If you are with friends, there's some burnout. You know what I mean? It's kind of like being with your friends all weekend long, maybe 5 days or something like that on a 5-day trip. And then you're like, okay, child, don't talk to me for 2 weeks, because I just was with you for 5 days, like mini burnout. You know what I mean? But anyway, the burnout that I kind of want to get into today is just kind of like creatively like burning out. Like, and for the last month or so, and really the last 2 weeks, I've been really feeling a lot of burnout and just not really excited about the content and the work anymore, and when it comes to, what I'm doing, my platform. And it's not to say, but here's the thing. Well, I guess before we get into that, I'll tell you where I'm at now. So I've been feeling away. So I took some time off. I haven't been online maybe maybe over a week. I haven't done a video in about a week on my YouTube channel. And then my best friend's birthday, his birthday is this weekend, Halloween weekend. And so I decided that I was going to come out here to Tahoe with him for his birthday. He rented like this huge Airbnb. It's so nice. It's got like 5-6 bedrooms. It's like super deluxe, and it's got like patios that wrap around everywhere. And we're literally in the middle of the woods. Honestly, I mean, it's nothing but like not palm trees. What do you call these things? Pine trees and Christmas trees and bears and all kind of stuff. You know what I mean? But pretty mountains. It's pretty mountains. It's snow. I'm living for that. And there's actually people who live in these areas, and they're surprisingly really, really friendly. And also, I'm not seeing a lot of bugs, which is surprising. But anyway, considering so much trees and, wildlife around here, I feel like I'd be swarmed with like mosquitoes and flies and a bunch of different insects that I was afraid of. And honestly, I haven't really seen any of those, haven't even seen any birds. Honestly, it's just been clear skies. And I've been doing a lot of thinking, and I needed this, you know what I mean? Like, now I have been getting fucked up too. Like, I'm not going to hold you. Like, a bitch has been getting fucked up too. Be very clear on that. However, today was a day of rest, and I just kind of been chilling, and I wanted to get this episode out. But the main thing was I was coming here to really use this as a silent getaway, and so I can really figure out what's next for me, because this burnout that I'm feeling, I'm not even sure if it's a burnout. I don't know if it's a growth in me. I don't know if there's a change. I just don't know. But for me, I'm at a point where I'm like, what do I want and what makes me money? You know what I'm saying? Like, so the kind of content that I do on YouTube, I'll be honest, I'm not always proud of it. I'm not proud to be a person that does celebrity gossip, because I just feel like I have so many more talents. You know what I mean? I feel like, I can do music, but at 33, who's who's really trying to break into into a music career. Now, granted, I do have a record coming out, so if you're listening to this, podcast, then you got an exclusive. It's coming out very, very soon. But yeah, I've done music, I've done acting, I've done a lot of different things that creatively. But this seems to be the one that stuck, the gossip, the commentary. Why? Because most people live for the drama, and I just have a colorful way of, telling the story, and people actually like it. And, I'm going to be honest with you. It's very, 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 very lucrative. It's like you can make, lots of money. Upwards between 10 to 20 to 30. Some people make hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. You know what I'm saying? So there's definitely a lane and a market for that. However, there comes a price with that, especially when you want to be in spaces and be rewarded for your content and be recognized, and I was listening to different people in media and different commentators, and what people are now realizing, and I'm realizing too, that a lot of people will support you, and they can support you, but they won't typically support you publicly because of the type of work that you do. So I have a lot of celebrities that literally follow me. I have a lot of celebrities that DM me. I have a lot of celebrities that I'm in contact with. However, they can never come on my show. You know what I mean? I mean, they can, but they can't. And I'm like, okay, so what does that do to have these celebrity contacts or have these celebrity people here following you, but they really can't, and speaking to you behind the scenes, but they can't publicly show an affiliation with you, because then it looks like, they are co-signing, or they agree, or in some way they are giving life to, or agreeing with what you're saying about another person in the industry. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, am I really going to break through the mold? I have these doubts, because it's like, let's just say I have a Cardi B, let's just say I have like a Cardi B, prime example. I had a Spaces I did a Twitter Spaces. If you guys don't know what that is, it's like a Clubhouse thing where everybody gets on there, and it's like a big chat room and everyone can talk. And I wanted her to come in there, but I realized she couldn't come in there because the title of the room, the contents of the room, it's just, she's a really cool girl. However, she cannot really show a huge affiliation with me publicly, because it would look very, it just wouldn't look good for her. It would do more damage for her. And it would cause more drama than it would do good. And I'm learned that. And, I got to give a shout out to my girl, because, who told me this earlier on? Well, not really earlier on, but after. What's up, guys? I hope you guys are all enjoying the podcast. And if so, now would be a good time to head over to your podcast hosting platform. This podcast is available on Spreaker.com, and it's available wherever you get your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, Amazon. So just type in the Armon Wiggins Show and I should pop up, all right? So, and there will also be links in the description box where you can find the podcast directly, okay? Thank you guys for all supporting me on my podcast journey and listening to the podcast. And be sure to tweet me and let me know if you've listened to it at the Armon Wiggins Show on Twitter. All right, can't wait to hear from you, and happy listening. Talk to you soon.